Hey, good evening. Kathy Beatty here with Divorce Support Anonymous. Friday night, Facebook Live. Here we are. Boy, I've got a topic that's pretty heavy and deep tonight, but we're going to try to tackle it. First, just a couple of announcements. First of all, we have a new virtual group beginning October 28th. So if you are interested, please get in touch with me, and you can certainly get in touch with me through my website or my Facebook page, of course, where you're meeting with me now. So please take advantage of that opportunity. Do not go through divorce alone. Let's get this healing started is always how I either start or end or talk about so frequently. Why waste time? Why not get the healing that you need as quickly as you can? Being intentional about it, not just saying, oh, maybe it'll happen after a year, or I'll wait. Or no, it takes your buy-in. It takes your commitment, your intention to heal. So tonight, let's talk about the opportunity to have a conversation. So ask questions, comment if you'd like, text me. There's my phone number right there if you want to text a question, or you can even call if you'd like. And we'll have that conversation. I'll answer on the phone, and no one will hear you, or no one will see you or know who you are. So please, let's make this a conversation. I would love that so much. So I want to talk tonight, how do I let go after divorce? Wow, that's a very deep question. I know I've been asked that before from those who are just going through a divorce and from some of you who have been divorced a couple of years. So I want to talk about that. How do we let go after divorce? First of all, I want you to know that you are grieving. And you're saying to me, but it's been 2 years. You may just be continuing to grieve. This is a trauma. And if it takes you 2 years or 3 years to get over it, that's what's going to have to take place. Now, I'm going to give you some pointers tonight and some resources to help you find a way to be intentional about letting go and being able to move forward. So let's get started. First of all, how do you let go? You need to understand what's physically happening inside of you, in your mind, in your spirit, in your heart. And what's happening to you is you are very used to this individual being here for years and decades. And I just talked about this with another post about the routine and how we are lonely and we are missing. And it's difficult to let go because that routine was there. We had this person in our life. Even if it was negative, it was there. He or she were there. They were part of your life. They were a routine. So what's happening is you need to understand your brain is still saying something's different here. Something's wrong. Something is not right because it's not the way that it used to be. So we need to work on what's physically happening in our brains. Yes, physically. I know we think emotionally, yes, that's happening too. Spiritually, yes, that's happening too. But our brain needs to be rewired. And so we're going to have these impulses. Just had a conversation this past week. We're going to have these impulses. Story was she was driving into her doctor's appointment. She saw her soon-to-be former spouse driving into the same complex. She said, I wanted to pick up the phone. I wanted to text him. I wanted to say what's going on. She had to fight that impulse. Why? Because it was such a natural part of who she was. And yes, it takes a while for our brains to get it, our impulses to stop. Where we think, oh, I'm going to reach out. I need to reach out. That's an impulse. I need to know what's going on. I need to know where they're at. All those things that were once quite healthy in a relationship, but now they're not healthy in a relationship at all. So we need to understand what is physically going on. And I want to introduce you to a term, a thought that maybe you have never heard of before. and that is relationship addiction. So there can be a matter of our being addicted to that other person. Love addiction, it's also a form or part of codependency. So we are needing that external validation from that other person, and it's not there. So if you are familiar with addictions of some types, you may need to look into or talk to your therapist. Am I possibly addicted to this person and this relationship? And how do I go through the 12 steps, whatever it is, to get myself healed from an addiction to this person? Because if it is getting to the desire becoming destructive, it's not healthy. And you may need some interception here. You may need to truly sit down with a good counselor, therapist, pastor, even if they're well trained in this, and understand what's going on with you physically. Just like addiction from alcohol or drugs, there could be that withdrawal. I know it's deep, right? It's very deep. And it's something that we may need some help with. And that's okay. That's okay. Because we have to be able to let go after divorce. Because if we don't, we're going to continue to be miserable. And we are missing out on our own life. So we've got to learn to let go after divorce. So that's a huge chunk. Lots there. We'll touch on it later at another time. But seriously, have this conversation with your therapist. And then there are those of you who are still connected. You are still texting, you are emailing, you are having emotional conversations with your former spouse. And you wonder, why can't I let go? There is no healthy reason right now, recently after divorce, going through divorce, that you should be having an emotional conversation with your spouse. Unless it's possible for reconciliation, that's a different matter. But I'm talking about letting go, to move forward, to heal, to get past the divorce and this past relationship. So if you have to talk with them, then you text fax, and you'd be amazed how helpful this can be. You don't have emotional conversation. Emotional conversation are thoughts, feelings, beliefs. No, because you have got to guard your heart, especially if you're having a hard time letting go. If you don't set up those boundaries, you're going to be continually drug along. So you have to stop those emotional conversations, stop the text, stop the email. Unless you have to deal with the children and co-parenting, then it's fax only. Next, let go of the fantasy. Let go of the dream. I know how difficult this is, but it's not healthy. That other person may have moved on, dating someone else, even remarried, and you're still in your mind dreaming and fantasizing about them coming back. You have to let go of the fantasy and face the reality. But the good news is the reality can be wonderful once you let go after your divorce. Let go of the injustice. You're wanting things to be fair. You're trying to work it all out in your brain. That's why you can't let go and start your new life, because you're still dealing with the injustice in there. And it's poisoning you. Let go of the injustice. And what you may feel is love for that individual needs to be transformed into concern for their well-being, to wish them well, to want good things for their future. That's healthy. So use this energy of your feelings to love yourself more. Instead of pining and longing for that person out there, learn to love yourself more. Turn that love and attention into who you are. Who are you? And believe me, I work with a lot of people who need to figure that out after they go through divorce. So use that energy toward yourself and seek the Lord to know you. I know that's worded very strange. Usually you hear, seek to know the Lord. Well, the Lord already knows you. And if we can seek to understand that, then we can know more about God. There's so many verses in the scriptures that tell us so many times that God knows us intimately and loves us deeply. We need to know that. We need to refocus that love, let go of the past, and begin to refocus the love toward who God is and the beautiful life that He has planned for you. Love this verse. You, God, says David speaking to God, God, you keep track of all my sorrows. You've collected all my tears in a bottle. You've recorded each one of them in a book. That's the intimate love that you are searching for. And you have got to let go of the past so you can find it in the present. I know it's difficult to let go. But friend, you're missing out on a beautiful life that is waiting for you. And I know many of you are doubting it right now and saying, but it's been 3 years, it's been 2 years, it's been 5 years, I'm still stuck. Don't waste any more time. Begin being intentional in letting go of the past and the relationship after the divorce. Please let me know if I can be of help to you. You've got my contact information, and I look forward seeing you next Friday or somewhere in between. Don't forget to connect with me for the course, which is going to begin October 28th. I cannot wait to get your healing started. Kathy Beatty, Divorce Support Anonymous.